Hey, Speak for Yourself listeners. Before we start the show, I wanted to tell you about our brand new Fox Sports app and website, foxsports.com. Reimagined for the modern sports fan. Go ahead, download the new app now. You don't even have to pause this episode. Every day on the new app and website, you'll see the top stories in sports, plus a rich world of written content, videos, social media, and analytics to give you a 360-degree view of the most important stories of the day. Streaming live TV has never been so easy or elegant. Every Fox Sports game, including all pregame and postgame shows, are just one click away. For the extra invested fan, we also go deep with real-time wagering lines, trending prop bets, win probability, and key player projections. So download the new Fox Sports app or visit www.foxsports.com. Now, let's start the show.
Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Marcellus Wiley here. With my man Emmanuel Acho. What's up, big dog?
What's up, dude? Looks like you're in a good mood today.
What you mean look like I'm in a good mood?
Oh, you got your holiday suit on.
You mean I look good?
You got your holiday suit on.
Hey, wait till these words come out of my mouth. Oh, it's going to be something pretty, just like how I look right now. Let's get it started. Right here in Los Angeles, where the Rams hosting the Patriots tonight on Fox. Jared Goff and Cam Newton have both been under the microscope this season. Rams have won 3 of their last 4 games, but Goff has as many interceptions as touchdown passes in that span. On the other side, Cam has thrown more interceptions than touchdown passes this season, but he is tied for 3rd in the league with 11 rushing touchdowns. So, Acho, who's under more pressure tonight, Jared Goff or Cam Newton?
Sal, I love when you start the show with softball questions for your boy. Because this was easy. It's Cam Newton. Cameron Newton. And here's why, Sal. It's because every game Cam Newton plays, he is under the most scrutiny because he understands every game he plays, he is auditioning for a job, not just this year to maintain his position the next week, but weeks going forward. Marcellus, you know this as good as anybody. In the NFL, winning, it is the cure for any and every ailment. Nobody looks at anything else when you're winning. All the stench of a bad defense, the stench of a bad offense, or the stench of bad quarterback play. Let me give you examples. Blake Bortles, we overlooked his awful completion percentage because the Jacksonville Jaguars went to an AFC championship game. They were winning. Let's go back in history since you, Marcellus, love to live in history. Rex Grossman, remember when he had a 54% completion percentage, 2006? He threw 20 interceptions, Marcellus Wiley. But he was a starter the next year. Why? Because the Chicago Bears were winning. Or we can go a little closer home for me. The Philadelphia Eagles, they looked over their abysmal offensive roster, their aging offensive skill positions. Why? Because last year, they were 9-7, hosted a playoff game, they were winning. Well, this year, the Eagles quarterback has been benched. Rex Grossman, the year after they went to the Super Bowl, got benched after 3 weeks. Oh, and Blake Bortles, he didn't finish the following season, got benched and is currently a backup quarterback. Why? Because there was not team success. I say all that to say this. Cam Newton, it's all fun and games. 9 interceptions, 5 passing touchdowns. That's all cool when y'all have won 5 out of 6 games. Cam Newton, the fact that you've had 69 passing yards and 84 passing yards in the last 2 games, that is all cool because the Patriots are winning. But I'm telling you right now, Marcellus Wiley, if the Patriots lose or begin to lose again like they had been a month and change ago, hey, it's not going to be all cool anymore. Cam Newton may end up with the same fate as Carson Wentz, Rex Grossman, Blake Bortles, and all other quarterbacks who are playing below the bar, even though their team is having success.
I expected that take from you, Acho, because you haven't seen Cam's greatness this entire year, so I expected you to look at this situation wrongly as well. It's Jared Goff. The answer is Jared Goff, because I'm going to answer this with the franchise quarterback of the two. You're talking about someone who's auditioning, who's trying to put themselves in position with a new organization to be that guy. How about a guy who's already in that position in Jared Goff and the yin-yang effect of the hot and the cold Jared Goff production? You can't have that when you're a franchise quarterback, and they've invested heavily in Jared Goff. So They always say you can't miss what you never had. So what can Cam Newton miss in New England? He's never had anything there. Oh, but Jared Goff remembers the days of Jeff Fisher and being 0-7 his rookie year. And then Sean McVay comes and saves the day, and they go to the Super Bowl, fall short in that same Super Bowl appearance to the same opponent that he's going to see this week. Will he see ghosts? I don't know. Remember that Super Bowl appearance, 19-38. That ain't too pretty. 0 touchdowns. That's not pretty. And an interception. Interesting. Got sacked 4 times and only put up 3 points. I don't know if he's going to be seeing ghosts, but he needs to be seeing consistent play. Let's talk about Jared Goff in the term of half of the season, the first 7 games, and the last 5 games. First 7 starts. You look good, Jared Goff. Everybody's talking about you, singing your praises. But let's talk about what's happened of late. The drop-off in passer rating from 102 to 85. Oh, when you first had 4 giveaways, now you have 10 giveaways in the last 5 starts. To the point where when they lost the second time to the mass unit San Francisco 49ers, even Coach Sean McVay had to come out in criticism of his quarterback, fielding questions of potentially benching his same quarterback. So it's Jared Goff feeling the pressure of the highs of what he's done this year and his career, but also the lows that he's seen of late.
Basel, you know this because you've been in locker rooms before. You understand this firsthand. Remember back when you're winning, right? You can stroll into your linebacker, your defensive line meetings. You can stroll in like 30 seconds before you're supposed to be there.
Always.
You can wear the different color socks that coaches don't really care about.
Yeah.
You can pull out your cell phone and, every now and then maybe check a text, check a tweet, even though Twitter wasn't out when you were playing. You can do these types of things, Sel.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, let you start catching L's, telling what happens.
What?
Linebackers, linemen, be at meetings 5 minutes early. Pull your stocks all the way up. Put your phones away. Everybody lock in. It's like, wait a second, coach. I've been doing this all season. Why do you care now? And coaches start tripping because as soon as you start to lose, now it's time to not only be critical, it's time to be overly critical. You, Marcellus Wiley, you told me, no one cares what you're doing until you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Nobody cares about Cam Newton's really 9 interceptions. I do. But for whatever reason, Marcellus, you don't. Nobody cares about the fact that he's only thrown 5 touchdown passes. I mean, I do. But Marcellus Wiley, you don't. Nobody cares about all the other things that Cam Newton, the quarterback, is supposed to be doing until the Patriots aren't doing what they are supposed to be doing. And the other thing I'll say is this, Sal, because you know what I'm really tired of is hearing takes like yours. And it might have been LeVar yesterday. Well, Bill Belichick said that this isn't supposed to be a winning season. Bill Belichick was just assuming this was going to be a rebuild. A 68-year-old coach doesn't go into a season expecting to rebuild, hoping to rebuild. Bill Belichick always takes what the world considers trash and turns it into treasure. He was assuming to do that again this year. So I'm not also going to fall back on the fact of, the Patriots are already overachieving. I think that's a lie. I think Cam Newton understands that there's a ton of pressure because everybody's going to start worrying about what Cam Newton's not doing the second the Patriots start losing, if they do start losing.
It's interesting that you're going to base your premise, your argument off the fact if they start losing when they won. Not yet. I might come up with a Wileyism right now because I'm really getting a little upset at your take. If they start losing, oh my God, Cam Newton, look out because no more cover for your lack of production. But they've won 4 or 5. The Rams have only won 3 of 5. In comparison to them, there's a little more tension. Hey, I want you in meetings early. Matter of fact, on time is early. That's what's happening maybe more so in L.A. because of expectations and because they've only won 3 of the last 5 versus a team that's won 4 of its last 5 with lesser expectations. Cam Newton is not feeling comfortable by any stretch, but Jared Goff is starting to feel a little bit of heat. Jared Goff is being asked, should you be benched? What's going on? Are you slumping? Is everything okay? That's not the same conversation with Cam Newton. Already buffered into the Cam Newton situation is there's no continuity. You just learned this system starting late June, and there's a chance you could come back next year when the grass is greener because of the salary cap and how much money they're going to have, $60+ million in New England. Jared Goff's not in that situation. Jared Goff is trying to justify the $100+ million he's already acquired from his organization. Guess what comes with that money? It costs to be the boss. You want to make the most money? Fine. Guess what's coming with that? The most criticism. And Jared Goff, of late, I'm not saying the entire stretch run, but of late, we have not seen the same Jared Goff we saw in the first 7 games, and that's alarming.
Here's my issue, though, Sel, and I think this is what is misguided about your take. This is what is misguided about a lot of analysts right now who are looking at the Patriots, saying that the Patriots didn't have the same expectations. Based upon who? Let's remember, Patriots lost to the Seahawks by 5 points or 1.5 yards. The Patriots lost to the Broncos by 6 points because of Cam Newton's turnovers. Patriots lost to the Bills by 3 points because Cam Newton fumbled. Patriots lost to the Texans by 7 points. This Patriots team that still has 6 losses, they shouldn't really have 6 losses. You talk about roster, who's the greatest Patriot of all time? A 6th-round pick. Who's the greatest Patriot special teams player? A guy by the name of Matthew Slater that didn't come in with a lot of hype. Who was a Super Bowl MVP for the Patriots? 7th-round pick in Julian Edelman. Just because you and I look at the Patriots roster and we don't think that there's talent, Bill Belichick looks at the Patriots roster and says there is immense talent. What is Cam Newton doing with the talent? I can turn players that the world might deem as talentless into talented. But is Cam Newton helping me do that? Is Cam Newton turning Jacoby Myers into a star that Jacoby Myers could potentially be? I don't know. We saw what Tom Brady did with a guy by the name of Julian Edelman. So I think that you were lowering a bar for the Patriots that Bill Belichick never intended to lower, and that is the problem. If you keep the bar at the height that Bill Belichick had the bar at, then I don't think you can say Jared Goff is under more pressure. I think you have to realize Cam Newton is under that pressure.
Okay, enough shots. You took a shot at LeVar. You took a shot at most media members. You took a shot at all the analysts. And then you try to imply you were taking a shot at me. I know you ain't coming for the throne. Okay, if I'm looking at this situation, I'm listening to my partner, my co-host, give a take. But really what he's doing is taking the words of Bill Belichick and changing them to what he wants them to say. Bill Belichick has been on record to the point where even you, Acho, called him out. Is Belichick making excuses or are those reasons? Because Belichick said, hey, we didn't have the resources this year. Look at our roster. We couldn't make a lot of changes to our roster. We don't have everything that we desire because we are cash strapped this year. They're paying Antonio Brown, still paying Tom Brady. Bill Belichick literally said we have issues. We're handcuffed. And you came out and said, oh, Bill Belichick over there trying to lower expectations and make excuses. But now you want to sit there and say Marcellus Wiley is making the excuses for the Patriots. The roster tells you everything you need to know, Acho. It's not about the words coming out of my mouth. But let's show you a visual. Maybe you don't listen well, but you can see better. Let's look at this blind resume. Blind resume time. I stole this from Acho, who stole this from Colin Cowherd, so it's all in the family. Look at the quarterbacks right here. QB1. Interesting. All right, that's our baseline right there. 68.5, 4.7, 93 passer rating. Good. Really good. Okay, that's about league average. Teddy Bridgewater, who is that? Oh, did I just mention his name? I did. Number 2, 70% in terms of completion percentage, 96 passer rating. Forget that I just gave you a spoiler. Now, there's another guy in there. You don't know who is who. And that guy is 68 and 93. You're getting around average. Now let's take away all of that and put the names up. Look at this blind resume. Huh? How many of those guys got invested into the same level as the one on the right, Jared Goff? Not Teddy B. Teddy B got a $22 million a year deal. What's that, $66 million total? We got to see about 2, almost like a prove-it deal, even though he's getting paid starter money. Ryan Fitzpatrick on the bench. You said Teddy Bridgewater was sorry, and you told me that Ryan Fitzpatrick shouldn't even been out there in the first place. But now that they all have comparable numbers, I want to hear your response to the fact that they're all playing at the same level as Jared Goff.
The retort is very, very simple. I just need you to understand it. Team success trumps individual success. I need one or two. I need team success or I need individual success. What? This is what I need. The only reason right now Cam Newton has grace is because there is team success. That's the only reason Cam Newton has grace. Why does Jared Goff in those numbers, why are they irrelevant? Because the Rams are currently sitting at number 3 in the conference. They're currently hosting a playoff game. The Patriots and Cam Newton are currently 2 games behind the 7th seed to get to a playoff game that they can host themselves. Individual success can become irrelevant if there is team success. If there is not team success, it's time for me to look at you, the individual. And if you, the individual, are not performing well, a la Cam Newton, therein lies the problem. So that full screen, it was cute. The full screen was just cute and misguided. That's the problem.
Golly, Acho, it's nothing I could do to close our age gap, but I'm going to work hard, tirelessly, to change our experience gap. Because I can't believe you went out there and said, team success is all that matters. Without team success, every individual is going to be great. Hold on. That is the ultimate success. Door number 1 is, hey, the team is winning. Door number 2 is, are you out there performing and winning? Forget outcome. What are you doing as an individual performer? That's how you get evaluated. And door 3 is the best. We all are winning. The team is winning and you're getting yours. How are you going to make up a scenario where they're not going to look at the individual for his performance?
Because you can easily go through every year. Think about it. Joe Flacco, $100 million because the Ravens won. He had a 60% completion percentage. Rex Grossman, a 5'11" quarterback that probably didn't really belong in the NFL.
And a Super Bowl.
Rex Grossman, the Bears were winning. Blake Bortles, they were winning. My dog Nick Foles got $88 million by the Jaguars because they won. It's about team success. If you ball as a team, nobody cares about you as the individual. Look at Carson Wentz. He's on the bench right now. Why? Because the Eagles collectively are bad. The Eagles roster is the same this year as last year. Why? Because last year they didn't even look at none of the issues because they made the playoffs. It's the same roster. Same Deshaun, same Alshon, same Jason Peters, same Jason Kelsey, same Miles Sanders, same Carson Wentz. It's the same roster, but all of a sudden, Carson Wentz is the worst quarterback in the world. No. The team is playing bad. I'm telling you right now, let the Patriots start losing games like they lost against the Broncos, like they lost against the Chiefs, like they lost against the Bills. Let them start losing games again, and you're going to see exactly what happens. It's bad for Cam Newton.
I'm going to run with your logic all the way, and you got all these examples talking about, hey, team success matters most. Okay, let me ask Trent Dilfer. That's the homie. How did that team success work out for him? Did they deem him a franchise quarterback just because the team won? Oh, what about my boy Brad Johnson? I don't know him as well as Trent, but, I could get his information, see how that worked out for Brad Johnson. What about Nick Foles? I know you know Nick Foles used to sleep on his damn couch.
It worked out.
What? Did they say you got to go? Even though you the one that won us the Super Bowl. Team success is not going to cover you.
You got him $88 million. $88 million.
Yeah, but that wasn't with Philly. That's not the same situation we're talking about now. See, you have to move the ball down the field. You individually, you got to get into that evaluation mindset, Acho. Yeah, we care about totality, but we have to be a sum of all of our parts. Jared Goff, we have to be greater than what you've given us right now as your part. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're not done with the Patriots and Rams. We'll tell you which team needs a win more tonight. But first, Bruce Arians has publicly criticized Tom Brady. Now, he's praising this quarterback. We'll tell you if we like this approach with the GOAT. Next, Speak for Yourself.
What's up, Speak for Yourself listeners? It's your boy Shay Sharp, co-host of FS1's Undisputed. I wanted to tell you about my new podcast, Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something. Each week, I sit down with a guest for a drink and conversation, and as host and proprietor of Club Shay Shay, I welcome in esteemed guests such as Snoop Dogg, Floyd Money Mayweather, LeVar Ball, Isaiah Thomas, just to mention a few. Whether I'm talking to an athlete, a musician, an actor, or a lifelong friend, Club Shay Shay is a place where people share inspiring and motivational stories about their journeys to prominence. The new episode drops every Monday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to Club Shay Shay now and make sure you never miss a new episode. Now, back to Speak for Yourself.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's head to Tampa, where the Bucs have lost 3 out of 4 games and are hanging on to a playoff spot. Bruce Arians has publicly called out Tom Brady multiple times this season. But yesterday, Arians praised the GOAT, saying, quote, he's a joy to coach, and I couldn't ask any more out of him. So, Acho, let's see how you twist this up. Do you like Bruce Arians' approach to Brady this season? I knew it. Downer, dude.
Bro, you knew it because I'm right. His approach this season don't make no sense, Sel. It's like Bruce Arians, the head coach, can't make up his mind. After week 1, the Bucs are playing the Saints, and Bruce Arians in the postgame unnecessarily throws Tom Brady under the bus. 18-wheeler, moving, full speed. It's like Bruce Arians tells the whole world, hey, on that interception, it was on Tom Brady. It wasn't on the receiver, Mike Evans. But then 2 days later, Bruce Arians is like, hey, my bad, y'all, my bad. I'm kidding. It was on Mike Evans. It wasn't on Tom Brady. BA, you didn't have to say nothing at all. Even a fool is believed to be intelligent when they keep quiet. You ain't have to say nothing. And now, wait a second, Marcellus. You're sitting at 7-5, even though everybody thought you would be somewhere around 9-3, maybe 10-2. At worst case, we thought y'all might be 8-4. But no, you're sitting at 7-5, and now you want to sing Tom Brady's praises? No, don't try to cover up for the errors on the field by saying all these niceties off the field all of a sudden, because they sound very disingenuous. And in fact, they probably are disingenuous. Now that the world is saying, this match doesn't look like it was made in paradise, now all of a sudden, BA, you want to act like everything is cool? I'm selling that sell. I'm not buying that one bit.
Oh, my God. Acho. Oh, I remember growing up with two sisters, always wishing I had a brother. Oh, I'm so glad that didn't come to fruition, because damn, imagine being around somebody like you every single day, making something out of nothing.
Awesome.
That ain't what Sam says. Look, it's amazing about you, Emmanuel Acho. Coming out here on national television, embarrassing the family name, sounding like an idiot, as you would say, as your papa would say. I can't believe you, dog. I'm never playing basketball with you, because you're a cherry picker. I can see that right now. I love the fact that Bruce Arians has come out once again complimenting the GOAT. But Acho doesn't really see all of those quotes, all of those notes when Bruce Arians comes out and actually supports the GOAT. Because in our society today, positive news is not news, only negativity. And that's what happens. Acho ears perk up, and he has little ears, so you can see when they perk up. It perks up. All of a sudden, he heard something bad about Tom Brady. What? Bruce Arians, how dare you make him accountable? This is why I love it. That one word right there, accountable. Tom Brady has now found himself once again where he was before, in a system that promotes culture first, not personality and not the individual first. A culture that they called the Patriot way. They literally coined the phrase because it was all about accountability, team first. So yeah, he's come out in criticism of the GOAT, but he's also, at times this year, come out in support of Tom Brady. And don't act like Tom Brady's not an MVP candidate. He's probably not gonna win it, but he's certainly in the conversation because of good play this year. I don't know what the expectations were for this team, but they can still reach all of their goals going forward. And if they do, it will be because of the throwing arm of Tom Brady. So in a situation where Acho wants to make this binary, he wants to make it black or white. I heard you. You sat there and said, make up your mind. Hold on, big dog. Let's be adults right now. We all know this world is not black or white. It's gray, as my therapist says. It's silver, because he likes to add some life to that gray. But basically, it's all the nuance in between. You get a some of the good, and you get a some of the bad, and you integrate those two things. That's all Bruce Arians is doing.
See, Sal, I know I got you against the ropes when you start taking personal attacks. See, Acho got small ears.
I do.
As soon as Sal starts taking personal attacks, America just know he's losing the argument. Sal, this is what you have to realize. If one person got to go in Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, who you think it's going to be?
Bo.
It's not going to be the guy making $50 million. I promise you that. Here's what you got to realize. Tom Brady, in the last 4 games, he has a passer rating of what? 62? A passer rating of 40? The last time he had a passer rating of 40 was 2006. The last time he had 2 games this bad, 2013, and it was not nearly as bad as the 40, like I just told y'all. That was 2006. So if Bruce Arians is starting to look around this house and he realizes, we not really doing all that good. I've already said some bad things about the quarterback who is more likely to stay if somebody got to go than me, what you think Bruce Arians is going to do? He going to start to clean up shop. Sal, in this day and age, you can read a lot by Twitter. You can read a lot by social media, things called subtweeting. You know, if I see a husband all of a sudden put out some amazing response, oh my God, I just love my wife. I'm just so thankful for her. I'm so grateful for the mother that she is. There's a chance that they're saying it because they really mean it. But there's probably a bigger chance they're saying it because they in the doghouse. There's probably a bigger chance they saying it, Sal, because they're trying to cover up for something else. Bruce Arians isn't all of a sudden singing Tom Brady's praises because he just woke up on one fine morning and said, I'm going to be nice to Tom Brady today. The same Tom Brady I've been critical of all season. No, Bruce Arians is realizing, wait a second, we 7-5. Oh, this does not look good. Let me at least start to scratch the back of the person who I might need to scratch mine if this does not go as I thought it would.
Unreal. You just accused me of being a person that takes personal attacks because I'm losing the argument when I talk trash about you every single segment, every single second I get of the day. But I never expected you to be guilty.
A lot of arguments.
Yeah, well, you are guilty of the same thing you just accused me of. Talking about social media doghouse. That's why you put all your family pictures up and all the love of your family. You know damn well that's all I got on my feed is family love. And I'm not in the doghouse. I actually love them most of the time. Not all the time. But Acho, you just told on yourself, big dog. You just sat there and said, you can read a lot by what happens on Twitter and social media. That's your take? That's your premise? What happened to books? What happened to evidence? What happened to knowledge? What happened to experience? You go to Twitter to find out about the world? Oh, that loud minority got you fooled out there, Acho. Let's talk about what Bruce Arians is thinking. He's not thinking about job security. He's not thinking about his job security. He's not thinking about Tom Brady's job security. Bruce Arians is old as hell. And so is Tom Brady. Neither one is long for this job, but they're going to work together because they know that this is a marriage made in heaven if they can make it work. Not by the play calling, but by the integration of philosophies. So Bruce Arians, who likes to risk it all and wants to play kind of gunslinger football, and Tom Brady wants to keep it close to the vest, they're trying to find that sweet spot, that balancing act. And right now, I would say that they found it to a large degree. How many games did they win last year, Acho, since you want to be so smart about everything? Seven?
Seven
Did I hear
games,
seven?
sir.
Did I hear 7? Okay. And how many games have they won so far, Acho? 7. Oh, but Acho is making it seem like they're not meeting expectations. They're not living up to their standard. What is the standard? The standard is to be a playoff contending team that could potentially win a Super Bowl. Is that still within reach, Acho? Absolutely. So for you to sit there and say Bruce Arians now, all of a sudden, like he woke up today, oh, I'm going to criticize Tom Brady. No, not today. I'm actually going to give him praise. It works both ways. I just don't understand why you don't register when it happens on the other side like you do right now.
So let me break this down for you, big dog. Let me break this down for you. I'm going to talk a little bit of life. You remember, who was it? Captain Sully Sullenberger, the man who landed a plane on the Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
He landed a huge aircraft on the Hudson.
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
The real person was Sully Sullenberger.
I ain't seen him before.
It wasn't a movie.
I don't know who he is. No Tom Hanks.
If you watch the interviews, if you watch the quotes of the real person, he said that before he landed the plane on the Hudson, after realizing he wasn't going to get to the final destination, what did he do? He had to calm down all the passengers that were freaking out because they started to realize something was wrong. Well, Marcellus Wiley, Bruce Arians, the captain of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he promised the Buccaneers a destination on February 7th, a Super Bowl destination in a tropical location in Tampa. And now he realizes, we're not going to land. So what did he say? He said, this is your captain speaking. He said, Tom Brady, oh, I love Tom Brady. Oh, Tom Brady, he's amazing. He said, this is your captain speaking. He realized the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they not getting to the destination. So what's he trying to do, Marcel, is calm all the passengers down. I'm just saying, he not fooling me. He got you fooled. Ooh. Just know, I was expecting to get to Tampa on February 7th. Oh. I was expecting the Bucs to be at their tropical destination, the Super Bowl. He's not going to get there. He's trying to calm them boys down.
Unreal. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to stay on this flight with you, even though I don't fly commercial like you do. My fly private charter, I say, never. But the point of it is, you literally, you that dude you brought your headphones, but you just like the headphones that they gave you. You're on your flight right now. Let me put these headphones on, these little cheap ones with the wire, plug them in. And here go Acho, not watching any TV shows, anything. Acho likes to watch the flight pattern. He likes to watch the plane in the air. Look at Acho like, oh my God, we're halfway there. Oh, we're a little past halfway there. And then you go, boop, flight attendant, are we there yet? That's Acho. And he like, the flight attendant wants to be nice to you and say, no, sir, we still have 3 more hours. No, sir, we still have a few more games and we have the playoffs. But you know what? Acho don't want to hear that. I don't like to speak to the captain. He needs to put me at ease. Where are we? Are we there yet? Acho, relax. You know, have the hot peanuts. Chill, have a sip of wine, whatever it may be. They can still land at the proper destination. Stop bugging all the passengers and the flight attendant. They're not there yet. Coming up, Carson Wentz is headed to the bench. We'll tell you if his Eagles teammates support that move. Next, speak for yourself. Come on, Otto, walk out with your boy. Cam Newton and the Patriots look to keep rolling against Aaron Donald and the NFC West leading Rams. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Let's move on to the Eagles. Doug Peterson made the big move earlier this week, naming rookie Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback Sunday against the Saints over Carson Wentz. Wentz is having the worst year of his career. You hear that, Acho? But at least 2 of his teammates, defensive tackle Fletcher Cox and center Jason Kelce, are standing by him. Take a listen to this.
Carson has unfortunately not played well, so these are the situations that happen. But you feel bad that he's the sole one taking the hit right now. Obviously the entire offense has been terrible. Offensive line, running backs, receivers, coaches. You aren't this bad unless everybody shares blame in this whole thing. And I think everybody here knows that. I know that Carson knows that this is not just him.
It's never just one person, It sucks for a guy like Carson to be in the position that he's in right now. But, again, though, I still support Carson. He's my guy. And, right now, instead of worrying about the drama and stuff going on, we just need to worry about and focus on winning the game. We haven't done it in 4 weeks, I don't think.
Acho, you think Eagles players support Carson Wentz getting benched off of that?
Absolutely not. You can tell the Eagles players are not for Carson Wentz getting benched. Let me put it like this. Fletcher Cox, the Eagles' best defensive player over the last 8 to 10 years, he's not in support of Carson Wentz getting benched. To the point where a tweet was put out. It said retweet for Jalen Hurts, like for Carson Wentz, and Fletcher Cox liked it. So Fletcher Cox is both publicly and privately in support of Carson Wentz being the starter. But let's disregard the tweets and let's talk about real life. Jason Kelce said, what I don't understand is so hard for everyone else to grasp. You can't be this bad unless several people are bad. Running backs, offensive line, wide receivers, and he ended by saying coaching. Jason Kelce, the Eagles' best offensive player, is in favor of Carson Wentz. So if the Eagles' best offensive player and best defensive player are both in favor of Carson Wentz starting, I don't get how other people are not. But let me also put it to you like this, Marcellus. We talk about Jalen Hurts being a spark. Well, Marcellus, you don't look for a spark for spark's sake. You look for a spark in hopes that you will set things ablaze. When I go downstairs into my kitchen and in my gas grill, if the grill don't start, what do? I light a match to start the entirety of the grill. I don't just keep lighting matches, Marcellus, for the fun of it. So Jalen Hurts, being a spark is something, but Doug Peterson, is he going to set the whole offense ablaze? That is the question, which I don't think there is a good answer to. So no, the Eagles are not in favor of, the players are not in favor of benching Carson Wentz, but that's abundantly clear, not by my words, by their own star players.
Oh, man, you got fooled by that, huh? Best performance goes to Fletcher Cox. Best supporting actor goes to Jason Kelce. Like, come on, big dog. Look, let's be real about this. One, I can use their words against them to let you know they lying. Be real about this. Whenever someone goes out there and they know that heads are starting to roll and they don't want it to be their head as well because they haven't been playing perfectly either, the first thing you will hear is it's never just one person. But you know what? Let me decode that for y'all, what they saying really internally. Oh, it's just one person going to take it, though. It's one person's fault greater than others. Now, we all have a hand in this, But who has two hands in this? Who has their whole body in this? Oh, we know who that is. It's Carson Wentz. But I know they feel sorry for him, the person. Carson Wentz, I'm sure he has friends on there, tremendous friendships, maybe even best friends on that roster. Yes, we feel sorry for you, the person. But the player, number 11, oh, he's going to have to sit down and take a little time out right now. Why? Because my money, my livelihood is interwoven into his production. Be real about this. In any situation, especially when you're the boss and you know it costs to be the boss, you're the figurehead. You get all the praise, you get all the criticism. You also get that big-ass check. So when you get that check, you know what comes with that. Responsibility and sometimes unfair criticism. But you still take that check. Carson Wentz, now, being a franchise quarterback, has shown very few moments this year of living up to that billing, but more moments of regret, of buyer's remorse, of the fact that, damn, the only reason we're really committed to him is financially. So in that situation, other players, they're not dumb. They look around and say, man, it's unfair what's happening to the person in Carson Wentz. But that player, oh, man, he has to get it right, because if he doesn't get it right, we're all going to be looked at as lesser than. When the glass is half empty versus the glass is half full, it may be the same level in terms of amount in there. But perception becomes reality. I know if I were on the Eagles team right now, I'll be sitting there quietly, not responding to anything. Because if I open my mouth, the truth will come out. And the fact that I will point my finger at Carson Wentz. And I've done it before.
Sal, you got this one all wrong, big dog. You got this one all wrong. You've been wrong at times in small ways, but this time it's glaringly inaccurate.
Okay.
It's not just a monetary necessarily factor that's indicating the Eagles' current commitment to Carson Wentz. Think about this, Sal. Carson Wentz is a 27-year-old quarterback who just a few years ago was on the cusp of winning an MVP, has battled back, overcome injury, has led his team to the playoffs multiple times, even though he's gotten injured during the course of the playoffs. He's in the route there. He's led his team there multiple times, and yet after 12 bad games, you want the Eagles to give up on Carson Wentz. The players realize how asinine that is. Jameis Winston had 5 years of bad ball with no playoffs. Cam Newton had 4 years of on and off being injured with one playoff appearance in the 4-year run from 2016 and onward before getting released by them. You got Jameis Winston again, 5 bad years, but Carson Wentz, after 12 bad games, Marcellus, you can jump ship, but the Eagles players realize, no, we need dudes. Let's talk about it. Last week, Eagles versus the Packers. Packers got Devontae Adams. Eagles have Greg Ward. The week before, the Seahawks, Eagles. Seahawks got DK Metcalf. Again, the Eagles, they got Greg Ward. Kudos to Greg Ward. If you watch any Eagles games the last 2 years, you realize how much of an overachiever and ball player he is. But the fact of the matter is, Devontae Adams, one of the best, if not the best receivers in the league. DK Metcalf, one of the best, if not the best receivers in the league, plus a straight human freakazoid. You need dudes. The Eagles understand they don't have dudes. And the dudes that they do have this year have been duds or have been injured. That's why the players are realizing, like, wait a second, this ain't on Wentz. Wentz might have to take the fall. Wentz might have to be the scapegoat. But the players realize more than anybody, well, besides me, that this is not on Carson Wentz, big dog.
Man, I would love to go all the way and have those heartfelt condolences as you have for Carson Wentz. But when money's involved, when my livelihood's involved, when I got to take care of the wife and kids, oh, I got to keep it 100. And I don't give a damn how it hurts your feelings, because we still should be friends, because all I'm talking about is your performance. I'm not talking about you as the performer, you as the person. But Carson Wentz, you got to take these lumps and look in the mirror. Be real about this. This is his 5th year, Acho. Be real. And he's only had 2 winning seasons, and he's never finished a season upright and been there for them when they needed him most. He has played 1 quarter of January football. He has 1 completion in January football in his 5th year. So we're talking about 3 losing seasons, never, ever fully staying healthy, and that includes the playoffs. And now I ask you, Acho, is the arrow pointing up or is it pointing down for him? Rhetorical question. We know it's pointing down right now. He's in regression. But this regression is historical. Like, this is next level regression when you talk about it. Look at the fact that only argument I would give you, Acho, and I will help your argument because I know it still won't suffice, is he may have lost his customato. As Mike Tyson lost customato and kind of lost his way in terms of how he performed in the ring, maybe the same thing is happening to Carson Wentz in terms of no Frank Reich in the building, and all of a sudden some of the coaching staff changes. I can give you some of that, but nothing can support or validate or justify the level of regression that everyone in Philadelphia is seeing. And it's funny, Philadelphia is the last place to see it because they can't see the trees because they're too far in the forest. The entire NFL, all the active players, his peers, saw this coming, Acho. Remember before the season, we saw the NFL top 100 player list? Was Carson Wentz on that list? Oh, another rhetorical question. You know he wasn't. You know why? Because your opponents, your peers, they see you and they don't have that bias. They are not like you. Oh, I stayed with them and I hung out with them. And oh, I was in Philadelphia and we had a cheesesteak together. Players around the league don't give a damn about you. And you know what they're saying right now? Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, they were all on that list. Was Carson Wentz? No, for a good reason.
Sal, let me ask you something, bro. Let's talk a little ball. I wanna put you in the shoes in the seat here. What is, for the people, a TE stunt? I assume that's the verbiage y'all use. Right tackle.
Tackle
TE stunt. Can you explain that very succinctly? Just explain that succinctly for the people.
I'll say it real fast. The TE, tackle, end, it's a stunt. The letter that's first, the T, tackle, goes first, gets penetration, makes sure he pins the guard of the tackle, and the end loops around and hopefully comes in for the sack. Yeah.
Bingo. So TE stunt. Marcellus Wiley is the end. The tackle has a job to do. Pin the guard, at least obstruct the guard's vision. Take the guard with him. That's the offensive guard. And hopefully, Marcellus said, the defensive end, Marcellus Wiley, will loop around and get the sack. That is the job of a TE stunt. But Marcellus, what happens if the tackle doesn't do his job? Will the end still get the sack if the tackle doesn't pin the offensive guard or doesn't run the stunt altogether?
No, I'm going to get hung out to dry, probably pancake, embarrassed, and no text messages after the game.
So regardless of how much money Marcellus Wiley makes to get sacks, and regardless of Marcellus Wiley's job on this TE stunt, Marcellus Wiley's success is actually indicated and indicative of the tackle success. Marcellus, my point is simple. Don't tell me about how much money Carson Wentz makes, because the receivers have a job to do and they're not doing it. The offensive line has a job to do and they're not doing it. The running backs have a job to do and they're not doing it. So it doesn't matter what Carson Wentz's job is. If the other players don't do their job, like the defensive tackle in the TE stunt, if he doesn't do his job, Marcellus Wiley won't get a sack and Carson Wentz will not get completions. And both of y'all, regardless of your pocketbooks, will end up on the bench with no text messages after the game. It's that simple.
You're right. That was a simple point. And I like complex points, but yours was so simple, it was elementary. I get where you're coming from, Acho, but look, I tell you what would happen after that game. I wouldn't get any text messages, but my coach would come here and say, look, hey, that tackle, he only making a couple bucks a year. You are a dog. Find a way to get him right or get yourself right and get your butt to that quarterback. Acho, that's why you're single. I figured it out. I heard you tell it. You're single because you love to blame others. Like when Acho finds himself in hot water, oh, trust me, he won't be the only hot dog floating in there. Trust that. Coming up,
I thought it was because of my small ears.
Joe Namath says Baker Mayfield's leadership skills are contagious. Maybe a little of that. We'll tell you if he's the leader the Browns need. Next, speak for yourself. Excuse version for Carson Wentz. Let's head to Cleveland, where Baker Mayfield is coming off his best game of the year after throwing 4 touchdowns in the first half against the Titans. The Browns have won 4 straight and are right in the middle of the AFC playoff picture. Hall of Famer Joe Namath praised Baker's leadership, tweeting, Baker Mayfield is contagious. By that, I mean his leadership is contagious. He believes. A lot of exclamation points. He gets his teammates to believe, and he gets the Browns fans to believe they can win. Baker Mayfield is contagious. Acho, is Baker Mayfield the leader the Browns need and contagious?
He definitely is, Marcellus. I've started to realize that we may have got this one all wrong about Baker Mayfield. Think about this, Sel. It's easy to be cocky when you're winning. It's easy to be confident when everything's going right. But what about when things are going wrong? Baker Mayfield, year 1, things weren't going great for him. Year 2, things were going bad for him. But Baker still was like, no, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of doing for this team. And now look at him in year 3, the Browns sitting at 9-3. Marcellus, I think Baker is not only the leader that the Browns wanted, but he's also the leader that they needed. The Browns, they saw the fate of Manziel. Baker saw the fate of Colt McCoy. He saw the fate of Brandon Weeden. He saw the fate of Robert Griffin in Cleveland. And he said, you know what? I don't care about all of that. I don't care about how it's worked out for them in the past. I'm going to maintain my confidence and composure. I do think Baker Mayfield is the exact leader that the Browns need, and we're now seeing it all play out firsthand in front of us. You know the quote, fake it till you make it. Well, Baker Mayfield, he was faking it at first, but you will never make it if you don't ever fake it at times. He was faking it at first. Now Baker and the Browns have made it. I do, in fact, think that he's the leader that they need. I've had to change my opinion because Baker has finally consistently changed his play.
Oh, wow. I'm going to sit here and just say a simple no. And it's that simple for me. It's amazing that people like you, Acho, are changing your opinion of Baker Mayfield because you saw one half of fantastic football. Hip, hip, hooray. I give you that. That's great. You're a franchise quarterback now because you had a great half. Really? That's your standard. Oh, no. Acho's standard is also, look how many bad quarterbacks have been in Cleveland. Finally, we have an adequate one. So let's anoint him. No, that's not my standard. When I say franchise quarterback, when I say leader, oh, man, it comes at a certain threshold, and it comes with responsibility. Baker Mayfield is too inconsistent in terms of his production and him emotionally for him to be the leader of this team. Think about it. Let's talk about him emotionally first. The same Baker Mayfield who went into this offseason said, mum's the word. I'm going to go out there and let my play speak for me. No more talking. And then Baker Mayfield, right before the season started, couldn't help himself. He's the same guy that went out there and said, oh, I'm going to take some shots at the media and say that they just get paid to talk. I thought, Baker, you were going to just play and let that speak for you. But he couldn't hold himself. So you talk about how he's cocky when he's bad. I don't give a damn who you are when you're bad. When you're bad, it's bad. No matter if you're a nice person, a likable person, or, as Baker Mayfield is, sometimes a troll. I don't care about your personality. I care about your production. Let's talk about that production. How Baker Mayfield is really two dudes trapped in one uniform. How the fact that you can look at Baker Mayfield and you can think he's up and down. Look at Baker Mayfield this season in terms of wins and losses. Is that the same quarterback? I understand losses mean you're probably playing a good team. I understand losses mean you probably didn't play your best. But whoa, as a franchise quarterback, need a little more consistency. As a leader, need a little more consistency and stability emotionally. I don't see that in terms of Baker Mayfield and his psyche between the ears, and I certainly don't see that in his production on the field consistently. Not a leader for me or my team. We got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. So, Greg, you agree with the Hall of Famer Joe Namath that Baker is the leader the Browns need?
He is the leader that the Browns needed. When you look at them as a team, where they are right now tells you that his leadership style, it works. Those guys, it's not all about what we think it should look like, Marcellus. It's not all about what we've always been accustomed to and been exposed to at that position. He goes about his ability and his game and his style a different way. And it's an off-beaten path. It's a rebel-like mentality, if you will. But that's okay because those guys in that locker room and talking with Jarvis Landry, they believe in Baker. And that's all that matters. We all know this, that it don't matter about no one outside of that locker room. What we get done is how we get it done. And if we believe in one another, that's all that matters, period. My stats may not be what I would like them to be. He's in year 2. Like Baker, we act as if Baker Mayfield has been in this league for 5-6 years. And his numbers and his statistics should be sky high just because he's the quarterback and he was number 1 overall. Yes, there are high expectations. But one of those expectations was, can he turn this organization around at the quarterback position? Well, they're headed in that direction. So I would have to say,
talk about it, G.
They need this leadership style.
Man, stop. Baker Mayfield is in year 3, so y'all better stop with all that. First of all, y'all should have known not to take this take as far as y'all have. This all started because Joe Namath, respect to Joe Namath. Joe Namath is on Twitter and talking about Baker Mayfield. And y'all gonna run with this narrative because you got Joe Namath saying it, and we saw one half of great Baker Mayfield football. That's enough for you guys. I'm not so easily duped in situations like this. He had one great half, and he had another great half against Cincy. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They were on a 4-game winning streak before. Y'all remember how that winning streak ended? Oh, they had to play Pittsburgh. It ended with like a minute into that game. Baker Mayfield throwing his pick 6, and the game was a wrap. Over. Beat Pittsburgh yet? No. Beat Baltimore yet? Nah. Got wiped by Baltimore, as a matter of fact. But now he's your leader. And Greg Jennings wants to sit here and say, oh, because where they are right now, Baker Mayfield has to be the leader because it works. Look where they are. Hey, I ride around with my family all the time, 2nd row, 3rd row. I'm the one driving. So when we get there, I'm not going to sit there and look at my 5-year-old son and say, hey, you didn't get us here, but take us all the way. Take us home. You don't look at somebody who didn't be the sole reason or primary reason why you're in this good place.
I'm confused too, G.
As a person that is your leader. How? They're 8-3 with a negative point differential, but Baker Mayfield's the leader. Is Baker Mayfield top 5 in any of these categories? Is Baker Mayfield a franchise quarterback? Does Baker Mayfield even have his 5th-year option picked up? But now he's the leader of this franchise after one half. Make it make sense.
No, can you make this make sense? Because me and G was confused. G, he said he rides around with his family in the 2nd and 3rd row.
Baker Mayfield ain't the driver.
That's like a riddle. Marcellus Wiley is in the 2nd and 3rd row, but he's driving. Who is the driver?
That's a junior. That's a junior. I'm the senior.
Can you make
Did
that
Baker
make
Mayfield
sense?
get them? Hey, Acho, did Baker Mayfield get them to 8-3?
What up, bro?
Did they ride? Did Baker Mayfield, was he the driver of this
First
machine?
off, they're 9-3. First off, they're 9-3.
Did he get them
some
there?
respect on their name? Well, yes, when you throw no interceptions for 5 consecutive games, you're definitely a contributing factor. Marcellus, the center and the quarterback, they're the only 2 players that touch the ball each and every play, which means they are most responsible for turnovers. I only said the center to appease you, because if I would have said the real answer to the quarterback, you would have said, actually, the center touches the ball. The center and the quarterback, the only 2 people that touch the ball every play. So if Baker Mayfield has no turnovers in their last 5 games and they've won 4 of those games, yes, Baker Mayfield is a large contributing factor. But what I don't get is, why are you so hard to please when it comes to Baker? Marcellus, may I present you with the Wileyism, sir? Because it was you, the great philosopher Marcellus Vernon Wiley, who once said, you can't lift the whole weight room.
That's a good one.
You can't lift the whole weight room. You said that. Baker Mayfield finally realized this, Sel, that he can't lift the whole weight room. Baker's just trying to lift one dumbbell at a time. And now that he's lifting one dumbbell at a time, you mad at him for not trying to lift the whole weight room. You have to make that make sense, sir.
I agree 100%. It's not solely on Baker Mayfield. And I guess where I'm confused is yesterday we talked about, or 2 days ago, we talked about Cam Newton, and you were all for what Cam Newton has evolved into and what he's producing and how he's being productive for his team.
Yes.
And with those numbers, you're sitting here telling me that Cam is going to have a line of teams waiting for him. I still am waiting to see more than the Patriots in that line, but you don't like what Baker Mayfield is doing. And you're saying he's not contributing to his team and the wins. And now you're trying to punch holes in the way he plays because his team is winning.
He missing.
This is the
He missing. He's swinging it air.
No, I didn't.
This is Marcellus.
This is what happens is when you don't like the way the team is playing or a player specifically. And I don't know what you got against Baker either. Maybe his persona bothers you a little bit, Sel. Let the man breathe. He's winning. And he's winning the right way. He's not being bodacious. He's not being outlandish. He's just doing his job. He's not turning the ball. It's as simple as
Somebody get Marcellus off the mat. Somebody get Marcellus off the mat, please.
Oh, wow. Y'all comparing Baker Mayfield to Cam Newton. I know y'all not literally doing that because we know that they have two different resumes. One's a former MVP and one's trying to get a fifth-year option. But, I guess I got that one wrong. They're the same. This question is about leadership. Y'all know that Baker Mayfield runs too volatile, too extreme. He can't even control his own emotions. He'll say, I'm not going to say a word. But again, I got to say something. And he'll go out there and say, hey, I am the leader. We go on a 4-game winning streak. But I'm going to look like eggs against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now he's on another 4-game winning streak. Hey, I'm the leader. I didn't say that Baker Mayfield's not contributing to the whole. I'm saying he's not the leader of the whole. That's all I'm saying right here. Now, since y'all want to take it at me, I always get out the way. I am egoless in these conversations. Here's 2 quotes from beat writers out there in Cleveland. Tell me if I'm the only one thinking this. One quote, he's been perfectly average in a limited role for most of the season. Oh, that sounds like the leader of our team. Oh, no. A 9-3 team, that's the leader. Oh, what about this quote? Mayfield has been maddeningly inconsistent this season. Oh, but it's on Marcellus Wiley. All I'm telling you is don't have such low standards for leadership if you're really trying to do it all and reach your goals. Coming up in our big story, the Patriots and Rams have a big matchup tonight comparing him to Cam. Stop. We'll tell you which team needs a win more. Next, speak for yourself. Welcome back. The Patriots and Rams have a huge game tonight on Fox that is important for both teams. Rams have won 3 out of 4 and are trying to keep the Seahawks away from the top spot in the NFC West, while the Patriots have won 4 out of 5 and are trying to stay in the AFC playoff picture with a win. Greg is back, and I'm coming to you first. Which team needs to win more tonight, the Patriots or the Rams? Look at this. This is simple to me. This is the New England Patriots right here. Greg, we're going to you first. I'm sorry. I went a little too ahead. I'm too hot.
It's all good.
Coming in hot.
It's the New England Patriots. I mean, you said it right there. They are trailing in their division. They need to try to get into the playoff race right now. They are in the playoff race, They are trying to play themselves in. Right now, as it stands, the Rams are leading their division. So they are in right now. So they're in the better situation. They're in the better position. And when I look at the schedule, I like what you did there in the open there, Acho, with being thrown out of the club with the bouncer and all that stuff. Yeah, man. So when I look at their remaining schedule, the Bills, the Jets, and these teams that they have on the schedule within their division, it don't look good. The Dolphins, it just does not look good for the Patriots. When I look at the road to getting there, to getting to hopefully 8, 9, 10 wins, it's a lot more stiff. When I look at the Rams, I get it. They have the Patriots tonight, which I believe that they will get it done. But they have a better chance because they can score offensively and they can defend you on the other side of the ball. I like them as more of a well-rounded team than I do the Patriots. I'm sorry they may be out this year.
Oh, my. Boy, stop.
Man, I gotta say that the Rams actually need this win more. And they need it more. I'll take the opposite of what G is saying in that the Patriots, more than likely, they're not really making the playoffs. Like, at this point, you're playing for the slim chance that you might make the playoffs. Rams, however, you got a 99% chance of making the playoffs. So now if you're the Rams, how far do you want to go in this playoff ride, on this playoff chase? How far can you go? Also, Sean McVay, we already know that you're one of the most up-and-coming head coaches. But up and coming is cute and all until you've already gotten there. At this point in time, you have to solidify yourself as a great. I'm not necessarily he's saying he can do that right now, but we all know this. In his second year as a head coach, he made it to the Super Bowl. Who'd he lose to? He lost to them Patriots. Now you're looking at the rosters, and just based off our eyes alone, not what Bill Belichick can do with the talent, but you say the Rams got the better quarterback. The Rams have the better running backs. The Rams have the better receiving core. The Rams have the better defensive player in Aaron Donald. They have a cornerback that can match in Jalen Ramsey to Stephon Gilmore. So the Rams have no reason to lose this game unless Bill Belichick outcoaches you, Sean McVay. So for that reason and that reason alone, it's got to be the Rams. They got more to play for. Now it's just a matter of how far will they go. You can continue that trek tonight.
Oh, man, it's the Patriots. Greg, you said the Patriots with me, but then you started to lose me in your supporting evidence of why the Patriots, a little bit, I mean, God dang. Let's talk about the Patriots because nobody saw them in this position in the first place. They've won 4 out of the last 5 games. Greg Jennings, rhetorical question. Did you think they were going to beat Baltimore? Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. What about Arizona? Yeah, I didn't think so. The wild card game for the Patriots right now is right there in their face, this Rams game. Because if they beat the Rams right now, they're at a 13% chance of making the playoffs, according to 538, okay? Nerd stuff. All right, if they win, all of a sudden it goes up to 28%. But if they lose, it goes down to 5%. Ooh, single digits. That's a problem right there. So the wild card game for them are the Rams right here. Why? Because the remaining games are the Dolphins, already beat them, the Jets, already beat them. And the Bills. We lost to the mighty Bills by only 3 points. Come on, big dog. Yeah, and we were on that last drive with the ball in possession and driving, but the fumble by Cam Newton. All of that said, you got to look at this team for what it is right now. Since week 8, 5th in scoring defense, only giving up 18 points a game. That are the Patriots right there. And then you look at them in terms of what they want to do. They don't want to go out there and throw the ball all around the park. No, they actually want to run the football. And if you look at the Rams, they own the best pass defense in football. How is that going to help you against the Patriots? They ain't trying to throw that ball, so your biggest asset is not even going to be utilized in this game. If the Patriots can continue to run the football as they do and continue to eat up the clock, shorten the game, oh, yeah, they got a fighter's chance in this one, if not prevail.
Yeah, I hear you. And I'm still with the Patriots needing this win more because of their road to getting there. And all of what you're saying, as though it's true, when I look at the New England Patriots and the way that they play, yes, they only lost to the Bills by 3, but they barely beat the Jets. Like, they beat the Dolphins the first game of the season when the Dolphins weren't who they are now. So I just know that they need this win more than the Rams. Look at their position. The Rams are in right now. So they can lose this game and be okay. The Patriots, they cannot lose this game and be okay. It's as simple as that.
Fellas, I deduce need upon this. What do you have to lose? I understand you can say, what do you have to gain? But I'm a dude that says, what do you have to lose? Right now, the Rams, you're sitting at the 3 seed, which means you're going to host a playoff game in Los Angeles. But peep this. If you lose and Seattle now becomes a 3 seed and Rams, you fall to the 5 seed, you're traveling for that first game. And it's not going to be close. You're either going to go to Tampa or you might have to mess around and go to New York. You might have to mess around and go to Green Bay. Like, you're traveling a far distance. So, yes, the Patriots could potentially gain getting closer to maybe, possibly 28% chance making the playoffs. But if you're the Rams, what do you have to lose? Also, bear in mind, the Patriots have been, in a hotel all week because they stayed in L.A. all week long. They've been sequestered eating hotel food. You the Rams, you've been at your house. You've been at the cribbo. You've been practicing at your regular practice facility. Like, you have a lot more to lose in this game, even than the Patriots actually have to gain in this game. So, yeah, while the Patriots might still have a puncher's chance at making the playoffs if they win, fellas, you have to look big picture. What do you have to lose? And the Rams have more, therefore they have more to lose, therefore they clearly need it more.
A lot of people always bring up that you have more, so you have more to lose. Or you also have more cushion, so you can lose stuff and still have more. Broke people versus rich people always had this argument. People are like, oh, you rich, you need a prenup. One, America, I don't have a prenup. I don't give a damn about money. My wife, if she want to leave me tomorrow, she going to be rich. Go ahead, girl, but you ain't going to be taking all my headaches with it. You can take the money, but I'm going to keep the peace of mind. That's what we always laugh at. But broke people always say, I don't need a prenup. I ain't got much. Actually, Chris Rock said this. You're the one that needs a prenup more than anyone. If you only got $1,000 and somebody take $500, half, you are in trouble. But if you got $1 million, somebody only take $500,000, you still got $500,000 to play with. That's the Rams. They still gonna have a lot to play with, even though they can lose more. Learn that lesson, Nacho. Damn, no wonder you single. Here's the thing. Sean McVay faced Bill Belichick before. Let's be real about this. Bill Belichick said, hey, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go out there and throw the football. And he did. 38 passes we saw from Jared Goff and 3 points. 38 passes and 3 points when they faced the Patriots last in that Super Bowl. And we know that the Rams are under 500, 2 games under 500 when Jared Goff is allowed to cook. Throw 38 more passes in a ball game. So the point of this is, if you look at it, the Patriots have to have their scheme go out there and execute against what the Rams are trying to do. Rams, they know that they're ready for this situation. The Patriots in a situation where they're hoping. But if they can get by the Rams, oh, they're going to be in the playoffs. All right, it's time to make our picks for tonight's Thursday Night Football Super 6 contest. One of the questions is, which team will win and by how many points? Acho, you're up first.
Oh, it's going to be close, but give me the Rams 17-13 in a defensive matchup.
Greg?
I like that. I'm 2013, the Rams.
I am torn on this one, but just to stay with my take, 20-19. Close one. It has to be close, but the Patriots prevail. Download the free Fox Super 6 app and make your picks before kickoff tonight for your shot to win. Fox Super 6 has given away over $3 million already. All you have to do is correctly answer 6 questions about tonight's game. And for top stories, scores, and more, go to the Fox Sports app. Coming up, Brett Favre says Aaron Rodgers might be the greatest player ever. Greg played with both quarterbacks and will help answer that and see if that's crazy. That's next. Speak for yourself. Ooh, Greg, you on? Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Aaron Rodgers is having an MVP-type season with a league-leading 36 touchdown passes with only 4 interceptions. Woo. Rodgers already has a stacked resume with 2 MVP trophies and a Super Bowl title. But his former teammate and Hall of Famer Brett Favre took it even further this week, saying, quote, I think he, aside from the number of Super Bowls, he may be the greatest player ever. I say this all the time. Tom Brady is the greatest player ever if we're measuring from a Super Bowl perspective. And statistic-wise, Tom has put up tremendous statistics and has won 6 Super Bowls. But believe me, the Packers are good year in and year out because of him. Greg, you're up first. You knew it was coming to you. You played with both of these quarterbacks. So is it crazy for Favre to say Rodgers could be the GOAT?
No, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. And I know why he's saying it. What he said is accurate. When you're measuring Super Bowls, yes, he's out of the question. There is not a comparison to Tom Brady. But when you're looking at the play of that position, and let's just face it, this league has always been about the quarterback position. This is how I measure that position. And at that position, up until Patrick Mahomes entered into this league, there hadn't been a single player that could check every box at that position that Aaron Rodgers checks. You can measure him up to any and every other quarterback across this league, and there is nothing that they offer their franchise that he doesn't offer or he couldn't offer. But if you look and start to measure outside of Mahomes now, everyone to him, there's things that they don't live up to. His athletic ability, his lively arm, his accuracy, his ability to just manage the game, all these things, his accuracy outside of the pocket, all these things that makes him so great is what Brett Favre is talking about. And when you've had and you've experienced that up close and you've had the type of career at that very position that Brett Favre has, he understands what it takes. He knows it takes others to win the game and to win Super Bowls. But individually, as a player, statistically wise, and what he possesses as far as talent, it's hard. It's hard to match that. It's hard to match Aaron Rodgers.
Yo, I'm going to agree with Greg wholeheartedly, and I agree with Brett Favre before Greg, and that if you exclude Super Bowls, I think you could easily say that Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. I mean, think about the fact that the Packers haven't drafted a skill position in the first round since Aaron Rodgers was drafted. Up until Jordan Love. And Aaron Rodgers still came out here and continues to ball. We bring up Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers is doing and has done everything Patrick Mahomes has done before Patrick Mahomes. Throw in 7 routes with a linebacker screaming down the barrel. Rodgers did that. No-look passes. Rodgers did that. Game-winning drives in under 50 seconds. Rodgers has done that. MVP. Rodgers done that. Super Bowl. Rodgers done that. Aaron Rodgers did everything Patrick Mahomes has done. Mahomes is just a new shiny toy. But even this year, Rodgers is like, hey, I still got my shine too. But I think the biggest note to say that Aaron Rodgers is probably the greatest of all time, if you're including Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers allowed Mike McCarthy to win a Super Bowl. The same Mike McCarthy that is 30-31-1 without Aaron Rodgers was 98-55 with Aaron Rodgers. So the biggest testament, yes, Greg Jennings, the biggest testament to Aaron Rodgers' greatness is that he somehow, Greg, somehow, some way was good enough that Mike McCarthy even won a Super Bowl because of Aaron Rodgers. That's all you gotta say.
Man, that's cold-blooded. I'm going to just let Marcellus go. I'm not going to even rebut him anything right now.
I'm glad y'all finding some humor in this, because I don't think anything y'all said so far has been funny. And I'm going to include Brett Favre with this as well. What the hell are y'all talking about? Trying to break this up in terms of criteria to fit your argument and then say, that's the take. Brett Favre, boy, you, the analyst, Brett Favre is hilarious. Nothing like the player you were. I'm telling you, you tremendous all-time player. But these takes right here just make me laugh. And it's something that I'm understanding that y'all are in agreement with. How? He literally just said, if you take Super Bowls away from a quarterback position, which they're going to get graded on by Super Bowls, oh, he's one of the greatest of all times. Huh? That's like saying, hey, man, besides the money, he's one of the richest people I know. I don't understand what you're talking about right now, Brett Favre. What do you mean you can't take away something that is so important in criteria and say, now, in exclusion of that, he's one of the greatest? We know he's one of the best players of all time. We know that we call Tom Brady the GOAT. But we call Tom Brady the GOAT of quarterback play based on accomplishment. But we don't say he's the greatest player ever, do we? That has to also entertain positions outside the quarterback position. Be real. If your last name is not Sanders, Barry, last name not Sanders, Dion, last name not Rice, Jerry, Taylor, Smith, White, like those kind of names, what are we talking about here? We're not talking about this situation like Brett Favre is trying to paint it. He wants to talk about quarterback play, but then don't use Super Bowls. And then he wants to say, but Tom Brady's the greatest of all, and Aaron Rodgers could be the greatest of all at all positions. To me, it was just nonsense. I can't believe y'all found something funny about it or even try to take a take and make it off a premise what Brett Favre said.
Well, you got to understand, Marcellus, when you've been in a position and you've played it, you have greater insight. And for you, you've always been chasing after the quarterback anyway. So I wouldn't think that you would side with a quarterback. But here's my take. Again,
that was a shot.
Because I've been in the room with both of these guys and I've experienced Aaron Rodgers and what he provides, it is hard for me to sit here and say that I can't. It's hard for me to not measure with the championship rings and without. Because if I were to take Aaron Rodgers and put him in Tom Brady's situation, does he have more? What's the answer to that? And then if you take Tom Brady and sit him in Aaron's situation, does he have any?
That's a good word. That's a good word, G. I've had this argument before, so Marcellus Wiley's coming up here and lying to the people. Cassell came up here earlier with LeVar earlier this year and said Peyton Manning is better than Tom Brady. And he said, I'm going to exclude rings. You're just going talent alone. He said Peyton Manning was better than Tom Brady. We can find the tape, Marcellus.
I said that.
We can find the tape.
Oh, he better than Tom Brady.
Brett Favre did this. Brett Favre understands it. We as humans, we're kind of lazy. And at times we can get distracted by a nice shiny object. And we can forget that other things exist because we're so fixated on the object itself. Brett Favre is saying this: I'm going to remove you all's fixation of rings, understanding I've played at the highest level, and there have been great quarterbacks that don't have rings, a la Dan Marino. So he's saying, look, I'm going to do the hard part for y'all, Marcellus. Because you can't deduce talent outside of rings, I'm going to say, hey, let's assume rings aren't involved and let's have a conversation. If we're having the conversation, removing the shiny object, because I know that you can't fix your eyes away from something shiny. If we're removing that and let's have a real conversation, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. I can already have this conversation removing rings. But for someone like you that gets fixated like he's a kid in a candy store and doesn't know how to remove his eyes from the candy, Brett Favre did you a solid. I get it.
Wow, I didn't know you were so easily distracted that you had to just go out there and say, oh, it's a shiny object conversation. It's not for me. I take everything in totality. I measure everyone by everything that they've done. Why can't you? I don't understand this whole caveat, or let's just chop off this part of his resume, but now let's look at the rest. Look, the shiny object you're talking about is really a symbol of a journey traveled by your blood, sweat, and tears and performances. So don't act like what Greg Jennings has that we don't have. It was just a shiny object. Oh, it's a lot more substance that goes into traveling that road, a road that Tom Brady has traveled more than any active NFL player, but more so also than my man Aaron Rodgers right here. It's crazy that y'all think that I can't see this for what it is, because I mentioned a lot of other players that don't have more rings than Tom Brady. Duh. And also Aaron Rodgers. But the point of it is, it's about what did you do when those cleats were on? And that's all I'm saying. He could have easily used the word talent. He didn't use the word talent. He said best player ever. And then when he said best player ever, had to take something off of that just to fit it into conversation and fit it into argument. Oh, LeBron James, if he wasn't so big and didn't have that size, he would be X. We don't know what that is because we know what he is right now in reality. Just stay with me. In reality, you can see the shiny objects as well. Coming up, Jalen Hurts is getting his first start Sunday, but we'll tell you if the job should be his the rest of the season. What is that picture? Next, Speak for Yourself. Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's head to Philly, where there's plenty of drama at quarterback. Jalen Hurts will get his first NFL start Sunday against the Saints, while Carson Wentz is headed to the bench. Doug Peterson was asked yesterday if Hurts will be the Eagles starter beyond this weekend. Take a listen.
I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future, right? I mean, come on. I mean, that's, all I can focus on is today and getting our team prepared today and getting our guys ready for Sunday.
Greg is here, but should Jalen Hurts finish the season as the starter?
Absolutely not. Fellas, I told y'all this yesterday. The Eagles are married. They're betrothed to Carson Wentz. If you are married, it does not do you any good to step out and go on a date with somebody else. But in the event, in a moment of weakness, you say, let me just go on one quick date and see if I still got the juice. Don't compound your error by turning it into an affair. Okay, just admit you were vulnerable. There was a moment of weakness. You saw the younger Jalen Hurts. You thought that Jalen Hurts might give you something you hadn't had before. You experienced a touchdown pass, 9.1 yards per attempt with Jalen Hurts. You experienced a little moment of love you hadn't felt in a long time with Carson Wentz. You had a quick affection with Jalen Hurts, but don't compound one error with multiple errors. Fellas, y'all are married men, so I'm not going to keep preaching to the choir. But no, the Eagles absolutely should not continue to start Jalen Hurts. Do this one quick little thing. Go on this date. Remind yourself that you got it good with Carson Wentz. Remind yourself that, hey, you got other issues. Your issue is not Carson Wentz. Your issue is in other places. Yes, Carson can be better, but that's not the big issue at hand. Only let it be one bad date. Don't have a whole affair. Please, Eagles. Please.
Look at you right there. That hit me right here, right there. You know why? Because I've been where you've been before. And now I am where I am right now. And I'm like, Racho, that's enough of that take. Slow down, big dog. But you know what? What I love about your take is that it gave me enough room to wiggle. It gave me enough room to say what I have to say. Of course, you have to play Jalen Hurts the entire rest of this season. Why? Because It can't be any worse than what you've been through with Carson Wentz. I know Acho wants to make this a marriage situation, and he's talking about, hey, you're not headed for divorce, so why not just make it work in the marriage you're in? But in marriage, there's also another way that's kind of like an impasse called separated. That means we're married, we don't know what the rules are, we're gonna make them up as we go, but it's not over just yet. But we are separated right now. I'm gonna give me a little spot on the other side of town. I'm gonna still keep my beeper on me. You can hit me, but at the same time, chill. This day-to-day check-in is chill.
Hey, stop nodding so hard, Greg.
Hey, man.
Stop nodding so hard, Greg.
I ain't gotta be with you all day, every day. And that's what Doug Peterson is saying. Be real. Doug Peterson is like, look, Carson, I love you as a person. I like you a lot as a player, but I'm not going to lose my livelihood and go down with this sinking ship called the Titanic and Carson Wentz because now people don't think I could coach. I'm the same dude that coached a backup to a Super Bowl championship and Super Bowl MVP. But now people think I can't coach because your butt regressing. Oh, no, we going to get separated right now. And it all falls on Jalen Hurts, who makes this offense more exciting. He makes it more dangerous. Be real about that. You brought up the 9.1 yards an attempt, something that we haven't seen from Carson Wentz in 2 years. How about the fact that in 4 drives, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives, Hurts had 2 completions of 20-plus air yards that took Carson Wentz 2 full games to get to the same level. This is a simple decision for Doug Peterson. It was only tough because of the finances. But in terms of looking at performance and being a true evaluator of the position, oh, he had to make this move.
Yeah, no doubt. This move had to be done. Look, it's really simple. If you don't try, you risk failure. If you don't try, you risk failure. If you try, you ensure it. So, I mean, I think I got it wrong. If you try, you risk failure. If you don't try, you ensure failure. So that's the way it is with the Eagles. Like Jalen Hurts, he just evens out the score.
Roll the dice.
Simply put, it's not a spurt any longer. This is reality. This is, okay, I got a guy who's going to take advantage of what the defense is going to present. Why do I say that? Because when you look at a quarterback that is a dual threat, you have to account for them defensively with another position, meaning the linebacker. You got to use somebody to play him if he decides to run. This gives you an advantage. It opens up the playing field. I love it. Carson Wentz has been horribly bad. You have Jalen Hurts. He's a quiet guy. He's not. Look, and you talked about the marriage. Let me tell you something. This is a relationship. And you knew that I was searching for the right one. You didn't do what you needed to do, Acho. So I'm looking at her now, and I'm saying, you know what? Come here. He's not getting it done.
Fellas,
I hear
gospel. Remind me to never, ever take marital advice from you two elder statesmen. Because when the going gets tough, it is clearly obvious that you all will just advise me to hit the door. Soon as kids come into the picture, couple stank diapers, it's become abundantly clear that you, Greg Jennings, are like, well, look, if after 12 weeks, only 3 months, you not doing what you supposed to be doing, I don't care that we have 4 good years together. I don't care that we have reached the pinnacle of marriage together. I don't care about the life that we've built because I saw 2 good quarters of this young, fine thing. I saw 1 great throw by this young whippersnapper. He's only 22. I know you're 27 and you're still in your prime physically, but this one's 22. This one came from OU, a big name school. The potential on this one, ooh, I gotta check this. Remind me, fellas, never to take marital advice from y'all. Marcellus, you always say I'm single because I'm picky. I'm single because I got small ears. I'm single because I don't know how to dress. I'm single because I'm in them streets. No, I'm single because I look to married men like you who play out these situations like Carson Wentz, and y'all show me that y'all don't know about dedication through hard times. That's why.
you're going to have a future in you right now. I believe in you. I testify on Acho and his greatness, but I'm also going to condemn you in the present. Your future's bright, but right now it is dark. Let's be real about this, Acho. We're married, Greg and I, grown men status. We're married. And you just like to gamble. And this is you once again showing your personality. Your butt loves to go to Vegas, loves to roll the dice, loves to play some blackjack. That's your problem. You're rolling the dice too much in this situation. The NFL is not a traditional marriage. You keep bringing up this analogy. It's not analogous. You know why? In the NFL, marriage is really like a polygamous relationship. There's a lot of wives on this roster. And guess what? They looking at it like, look, we got some good wives over here. We ain't got to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So Carson Wentz, sit your butt down while we tend to everything else that's positive around here. That's all that's happening. Coming up, taking a lot of shots too, Otto. Chill. LeBron was just named the best player in the NBA, but we'll tell you which top 10 player was disrespected. I mean, disrespected. Next, Speak for Yourself. Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's head to the NBA. LeBron James was named the top player heading into the season by ESPN. The King is fresh off of winning his 4th NBA title. I get choked up about these Lakers. And his teammate Anthony Davis was number 2 on the list. Take a look at the rest of the top 10. Lakers duo is on top, followed by back-to-back MVP Giannis. Luka Doncic, I see you, is ahead of my guy Kawhi Leonard at number 4, and Steph Curry is at number 8, just ahead of James Harden. So, Acho, who was the most disrespected on this list?
Big dog, I almost had to throw the whole list away when I saw Steph Curry at 8 behind Dame Lillard. Now, look, I love Dame. Dude got it out the mud, small school kid, been balling, especially in the bubble. He showed us what he can do. But to put Dame ahead of Steph just makes me realize people are so infatuated with the now that they forget the body of work even within the last, 3-4 years. Can we compare Steph to Dame, please? Let's just look at them versus them when they play each other. Whether it's playoffs, whether it's regular season, you can name it. Steph, in playoffs, we'll start there. More 10-0, more points, more assists, more boards, higher field goal percentage, and a better three-point percentage. And what we left off of there was turnovers and steals. Steph has more steals and less turnovers. So head-to-head, Steph altogether just a better player than Dame. It's no knock on Dame. Dame, you can still say top 10 player. But, Sel, when I say Steph at number 8, that's when I'm like, yo, it really is out of sight, out of mind around here. Wild to me.
I think I got a greater case of out of sight, out of mind. How about Kevin Durant? Woo! Who, when healthy, is the best player in the NBA. To your argument, Steph Curry, okay, you want to move him up? Wherever you move Steph Curry, move Kevin Durant even higher. You know why? Because, one, we already admitting, hey, let the injuries go to the side. Let's disregard that because you're already projecting they're going to come back healthy. So as last seen, and as a healthy player, who are they? If Steph is sitting there at number 8, oh, my boy KD got to be higher than number 6. You know why? Because of what he's done. Everybody's caught up in the moment right now, but what is Kevin Durant? First of all, he was on the same team with Steph Curry, and who was the better player of those two? Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, third most in win shares behind LeBron James and CP3. Kevin Durant, when you look at him statistically, not only how great he's been, averaging 25 points plus in the last, 13 years? Only LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, could even say that. But how efficient Kevin Durant was in terms of getting there. Acho, for me, it's Kevin Durant. That dude, when healthy, is number 1.
I respect that take. KD, you could move him up to 4 behind LeBron. Still probably behind AD. Not going to lie. But I respect that take. I just know I'm not putting KD above LeBron James. You said when healthy, he's the best player in the world. Sir, KD without Steph and Curry does not have a ring. You watch your mouth, sir.
Oh, wow. That's all right. I ain't got no comeback for that right now. But I do know if they played one-on-one. Who would you put your money on, gambling man? Who would you put your money on? KD, Steph, LeBron?
The King, sir.
Oh, yeah.
The King.
You would say
always
that. I forgot you got a book to sell. You got to say stuff like that. Coming up, Uncle Jimmy joins us, and he's coming to Baker Mayfield's defense. You don't want to miss this. Next, Speak for Yourself. KD, baby. Before we go, Uncle Jimmy is slowly becoming Baker Mayfield's #1 fan. You and Acho fighting for that. So, Uncle, what do you have to say about Baker now?
Look, man, let me tell you something. I like Baker Field because he's one of them white dudes that's done hung out with brothers so long that I don't think he actually realizes that he ain't a brother. I mean, this dude got on a boat with a bunch of drunk brothers from New York, and he never once feared for his safety. I mean, if you think about it, man, Baker Mayfield done hung out with brothers so long that the one time he had an encounter with the police, what the hell did he do? Ran for his safety.
He's right. He did right.
Days is over.
He did right.
See, now Baker Mayfield done reached what we like to call legendary white boy status. See, now he done fell in the status of Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, white boy Rick Bucher, and what's that white boy's name that call himself the king that like to shake his hips? Michael Jackson. But have you ever seen any of them make a move like this? Right here. You ever seen any of them hit a move like this? Hold on.
I give him that.
White boy, let me see you hit that slide.
That was tough.
Get him, Baker. That's what I'm talking about right now.
That needs to go viral. That celebration was next level. What's it all about? Baker Mayfield ain't all that. Fox Bet Live next.